In the early hours of June 3, 2025, a large cargo ship sailing near the Alaskan coast in the Pacific Ocean suddenly caught fire. The flames spread quickly, and the crew had to jump into the sea to escape. The ship was carrying 3,000 brand new cars, including 800 electric vehicles. Reports suggest that these cars were made in China, possibly by companies like BYD, Chery, or Great Wall Motors. But so far, officials haven't confirmed which brands were on board. According to Bloomberg's ship tracking data, the vessel is called Morning Midas. It's a car carrier built in 2006, owned by a London-based company, Hawthorne Navigation Inc., and managed by Zodiac Maritime Limited. The ship left Yantai, China on May 26, heading for Lázaro Cárdenas in Mexico. It was expected to arrive on June 15th. The fire broke out on the 8th day at sea, about 300 nautical miles south of Adak Island, Alaska. Reports say the fire started at the rear deck, where the electric cars were stored. Thick smoke was seen coming from that area. The crew immediately turned on the fire suppression system, but the fire still spread rapidly in the enclosed space. The ship is still burning. Experts say putting it out could take days or even weeks, and all 3,000 vehicles on board may end up being total losses. The U.S. Coast Guard sent 3 rescue vessels to help. All 22 crew members are safe. They evacuated using lifeboats and were later transferred to a nearby merchant ship. A special vessel equipped for heavy cutting has also been sent to assist. So far, the ship's management hasn't said what caused the fire. But concerns have been raised again about the fire risk of lithium batteries in electric vehicles. These batteries can easily overheat in enclosed spaces and reignite even after being put out. Experts say fires involving electric car batteries are especially hard to control. On top of that, the ship was also carrying about 350 tons of liquefied gas and 1,530 tons of low-sulfur fuel oil, both of which are highly flammable and made the situation worse. News outlets like The Washington Post reported that the batteries intensified the blaze beyond what the onboard fire system could handle. Zodiac Maritime confirmed that Morning Midas was mainly used for shipping cars from China to North America. The company hasn't revealed which brands or models were on the ship, but many believe the cargo included vehicles from major Chinese electric car makers like BYD. Even with a conservative estimate of 100,000 yuan per car, the total loss of 3,000 cars would exceed 300 million yuan. Adding in the cost of the ship itself, the financial damage is enormous. On June 5th, the European Maritime Safety Agency, EMSA, and the International Maritime Organization turned their focus to electric vehicle shipping safety. EMSA has started a special review and may update international maritime safety rules. These updates could require ships carrying EVs to have separate battery compartments and specialized fire systems. The fire has sparked heated discussion online in China. Chinese electric cars are basically moving bombs. First, they trick subsidies, then tax refunds, now insurance payouts. What a win! Ships carrying BYD cars might see their insurance premiums double in the future. Some people joke, the hidden dangers of electric vehicles are now spreading from land to the sea. Mexico has escaped 800 fires. Public opinion management must be done well. At least the internal network should be locked down. Otherwise, it'll be hard to keep tricking people. But this incident undoubtedly brings a major blow to China's EV industry. Insurance companies are said to be in tears. Due to the scale of the ship and the complexity of firefighting and salvage operations, the underwriting risks are extremely high. If the insurance coverage is insufficient, or if the company didn't even buy insurance, the consequences could be unimaginable, and the company's foundation might even be shaken. A major insurance company revealed that in 2024, the number of fire incidents involving EVs reached the highest level in nearly 10 years. Currently, what netizens are most concerned about is which specific Chinese car brands were on board. Bloomberg cited sources reporting that the cargo ship, which caught fire in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, was carrying vehicles from several Chinese car makers, including SAIC GM. The sources said there were about 140 vehicles from Great Wall Motors on board, but none of them were electric cars, and they were not stored in the area where the fire started. SAIC GM also has a factory in Yantai, where they manufacture Buick Envision models. The ship was leased by SAIC's logistics company, NG Logistics. Chery declined to comment on Bloomberg's request, and Great Wall Motors didn't respond immediately. We will continue to follow the investigation and keep you updated on our channel. This isn't the first time a ship carrying electric cars has caught fire at sea. In February 2022, a car carrier called Felicity Ace caught fire in the Atlantic Ocean, carrying about 4,000 cars, including luxury brands like Porsche, Audi, and Lamborghini, some of which were electric vehicles. The exact cause of the fire remains unclear, but it's suspected to be linked to the lithium batteries in the electric vehicles. The fire occurred near the Azores Islands, and the crew was safely evacuated. Rescue crews tried to tow the ship to a safe area, but the fire became uncontrollable, and the ship sank in early March. The losses were estimated to be at hundreds of millions of dollars, affecting car manufacturers, the ship owner, and the insurance companies. The incident raised widespread concerns about the safety of shipping electric vehicles, especially the risks associated with thermal runaway in lithium batteries. In July 2023, the cargo ship Fremantle Highway caught fire near the North Sea off the coast of the Netherlands. The ship was carrying about 3,000 vehicles, including hundreds of electric vehicles. The fire is suspected to have been caused by an electric car battery. The fire resulted in the death of one crew member, with several others injured. The remaining crew members were evacuated. Rescue operations lasted several days, and the ship was eventually towed to a Dutch port, though some vehicles were severely damaged. In April 2025, the Delphine car carrier caught fire in the port of Zeebrugge, Belgium, with about 190 vehicles on board, including over 100 electric vehicles. The fire is suspected to have been caused by a lithium battery, leading to thick black smoke and extreme heat. Zeebrugge is a major European car handling port, facing storage pressures due to the surge in Chinese electric vehicle exports in recent years. These incidents all involved electric vehicles, where lithium battery fires are difficult to extinguish and require significant resources, like water or inert gases, for control. The dense cargo and steel ship environment make firefighting even more challenging. Bloomberg warned that these events highlight the increasing risks of shipping electric vehicles. As China's electric vehicle market expands overseas, Shanghai's Nangang terminal saw a record-breaking unloading of 120,000 vehicles in May, setting a historic high. Meng Weihua, an instructor at the Yangshan Border Inspection Station in Shanghai, reported that nearly 90 international vessels docked at Nangang terminal in May, marking a 120% year-on-year increase. The number of vessels traveling between China, Japan, Korea, and countries involved in the Belt and Road Initiative has grown significantly, accounting for more than half of the total. However, cargo ships loaded with cars may catch fire due to limited ventilation and increased heat. Electric vehicles, in particular, require up to 30,000 liters of water to cool their lithium batteries in the event of a fire, making firefighting efforts more challenging. This has made fire safety measures for transportation even more critical. Industry concerns about the safety of electric vehicle batteries are increasing. Lithium batteries, a core component of EVs, are highly susceptible to fires if damaged or overheated. The heat generated can cause reignition risks, making these fires particularly hard to extinguish. In some cases, fires may burn for days. The underlying safety risks cannot be ignored. In recent years, accidents involving EVs have been continuous, with most being caused by spontaneous combustion or uncontrolled crashes. These incidents have remained in the headlines, with shocking images of the aftermath. On June 1st, a netizen filmed an electric vehicle on the street that suddenly exploded while driving, bursting into flames and leaving the car body completely burned out. The video sparked intense online discussion, with comments such as, "Terrifying, is this a scene from the Russia-Ukraine war? It feels like buying an electric car is like buying a bomb. How did this make it to market? Isn't anyone overseeing it? I wouldn't buy an electric car even if you paid me. These are the bomb cars the country subsidized with huge amounts of money. Wake up, everyone. If this happened in a garage, the whole building could collapse. Some netizens even joked, what brand is leading the way with this? With this, the factory doesn't need to make cars anymore. They could just build an atomic bomb. Amazing. On June 5th, an EV had an accident in rainy weather, severely disintegrating, with the battery flying out and catching fire. Thankfully, the driver was rescued without major harm. One netizen commented, "First time seeing a car disintegrate." On June 2nd, a viral video showed an electric SUV catching fire on the Shanghai Expressway. The vehicle was reported to be a Huawei Aito M9, although the cause of the fire remains unclear, awaiting further details from authorities. This is the Beijing-Shenyang Expressway. Look, all the cars on the trailer are on fire. Oh my, it's so scary. On May 30th, more than 20 EVs caught fire in Qin'an in the city of Tangshan, Hebei. The scene was shocking, with thick black smoke swirling in the air, completely obscuring the sky like a black curtain over the entire area. In the afternoon of May 24th, in the Suzhou Industrial Park, a Roy ER5 electric vehicle suddenly caught fire while charging, spreading flames to several surrounding vehicles. On April 15th, a netizen posted a video on X platform showing two Chinese-made electric vehicles rear-ending each other on the highway, with a Tesla unable to stop in time, causing a secondary crash. The two Chinese-made electric vehicles caught fire, but the Tesla was unharmed. In the early hours of April 12th, a commercial street in Rongxian, Guangxi was struck by a sudden fire. Videos shared online showed flames reaching the sky, with the fire spreading across half the street. In later videos, many burned electric bikes could be seen scattered on the ground. Several buildings on the street were severely damaged, with some almost completely destroyed, leaving only the frames standing. Eyewitnesses reported that on the day of the incident, a BYD Seagull next door had a charging station installed and was charging overnight when an explosion occurred. The family was awakened and found thick smoke billowing from the neighbor's house. Within just 10 minutes, the fire had destroyed the building. The family had to escape through a second-floor emergency window. The family of 5 became homeless, with all their valuable belongings destroyed. The whistleblower added that the exploded BYD car was reduced to just a frame and an unplugged charging cable. However, authorities denied that the incident involved an electric vehicle, and the fire department refused to explain the cause of the fire. Nearby businesses were silenced. This incident has once again pushed BYD into the spotlight. Industry insiders believe that this major accident has not only had a negative impact on BYD, but also on public confidence in EVs. According to reports from Chinese media, by the first 4 months of 2025, there have been over 112 cases of self-ignition involving EVs across the country, averaging at least one car fire per day. In March alone, several major incidents occurred, including a high-speed crash of a Xiaomi SU7 in Xuancheng, Anhui, which resulted in 3 deaths, a crash involving a Zeekr 009 in Shenzhen that burned the vehicle down to its frame, and a collision involving a Neo ES6 in Chengdu that injured 5 people. Even more concerning, the self-ignition rate of EVs is 2.8 times higher than that of fuel vehicles, with more than half of these fires occurring while the vehicles are charging. Now, even parked cars in garages are becoming ticking time bombs. Lithium batteries, when subjected to collisions, overcharging, or aging, can quickly reach thermal runaway and turn into a fire-breathing beast. The streets are now filled with dangerous goods. Some car owners have expressed their frustration, saying, "My car was burned into a skeleton within 5 minutes after the crash. The national standard says there's a 5-minute escape window, but it's impossible to escape in time." The Chinese authorities are heavily promoting the so-called new type of productive forces, with companies like Huawei and BYD being hailed as national brands that combine both environmental and economic advantages. However, their safety, environmental impact, and technological levels are still widely questioned. On June 3rd, Huang Guocheng, a Chinese automotive industry expert, told Western media that the Chinese government's push for EVs is a false proposition. He argued that these vehicles are neither environmentally friendly nor cost-effective, with obvious technical shortcomings. Huang, who graduated from university in 2004 and began working for a well-known Chinese automaker, started researching core components of EVs in 2011. In an exclusive interview, he stated that China's overall EV technology is currently only in the second tier globally, and is still far from competing with internationally leading brands like Tesla. He said, most Chinese NEVs still largely mimic Tesla, not only lacking in battery technology, but also showing significant shortcomings in overall vehicle safety. Domestic brands, including BYD, have frequently been involved in self-ignition accidents, indicating clear gaps in battery management systems and material control. Huang also revealed that many Chinese brands are using reverse engineering, purchasing whole Tesla vehicles for disassembly in attempts to copy their design. Tesla's ability to monitor the voltage and temperature of each battery module in real time, a key component of their battery management system, is something China is still struggling to fully replicate. In 2017, Tesla established a gigafactory in Shanghai with the help of the Chinese government and received 20 billion RMB in bank financing. The condition for this financing was that 100% of the supply chain's components must be sourced from China. The international community is concerned that, without intellectual property constraints, many Chinese electric vehicle companies have copied Tesla's designs, leading to overproduction and price wars, which have severely impacted Tesla's market in China. Huang believes that the limited lifespan of electric vehicle batteries is a fatal flaw. He pointed out that the average battery can only last for about 3,000 charge cycles, which is roughly 5 to 6 years before it needs replacing. The cost of the battery accounts for about 2/3 of the vehicle's price, so replacing the battery is almost like buying a new car. Regarding environmental concerns, Huang stated that the chemicals in discarded batteries are difficult to decompose and can cause long-term pollution to soil and water resources, potentially doing more harm than carbon dioxide emissions. With so many flaws, why does the Chinese government continue to push the EV industry? Huang was blunt in his response. He said, in the traditional automotive sector, Chinese brands are simply unable to compete with foreign companies. The government's thinking is, instead of continuing to fall behind, it's better to create a new path under the banner of new energy, and try to carve out a share of the global car market. But in reality, this is just a way to fool the public who don't understand cars, using taxpayers' money to conduct experiments. Finally, Huang offered advice to Chinese consumers. Many domestic electric vehicles overemphasize entertainment and gimmicks, deviating from the basic function of a vehicle. The most important aspects of a car are safety and practicality, not flashy appearances or decorations. I hope that when choosing a car, people will consider safety and cherish their own lives.